Hey guys, welcome to CoET. In this video, I'm going to be creating this simple menu using HTML and CSS. So what I'm going to do firstly is to create a folder on my desktop, but you can create yours at any directory, and I'm going to name this as menu. And next I'm going to move this folder into my workspace. Okay, next I'm going to create a new file and I'm going to save it as index.html. Alright, then next let's write our HTML code. I'm going to give it a title CSS menu. Okay, let's open in our browser. Okay, now we have nothing. So what we are going to do now is to structure our menu. Okay, so into the body we're going to have our div container. Okay, and in this div we're going to have our navigation. So with that we implement the nav tag, and in the nav tag we are going to have our list of menus. So we have the UL tag, and in the UL we have the LR tag, and in the LR we have the anchor tag, and this is where we are going to write the text of our menu. So the first menu is home, and let's give this anchor tag a class link. Okay, href, we're not going to put anything there for now. Alright, so we can just copy the entire LR tag and duplicate it. Okay, so this we have home, we have about us, contact us, we have product, services, and sign up. Okay, so let's save and refresh our browser. Okay, we have this for now. So we are going to do the modification using the CSS. So the next thing we're going to do is create our CSS file, and let's save this file as star.css. Next, let's link the CSS file to our HTML file, and to do that we are going to use the link tag. Now in the link tag, the href attribute, let's just put the name of the CSS file, since we have the CSS file and the HTML file in the same directory. Alright, so we save. Now in this we can implement the title attribute, and what this is going to do, let's refresh. So if we hover over the menu, then we're going to get a pop-up, okay, displaying the text. All right, so you see once we hover on the home, then we get a little pop-up home. All right, so let's do that for all of the menu. Okay, so let's just copy about us, and paste. All right, so the title is going to show a little pop-up message whenever we hover on the menu. All right, so now we have already lay out the structure of our menu. Let's modify it. Let's add some CSS code to beautify it. Okay, so open up our style sheet, and the first thing we want to do is set the margin and padding of the body. So we're going to say margin 0 and padding 0. Okay, and next let's modify the UL tag, but before then let's add a class to this, and we're going to call this, sorry, not the nav but the UL tag. We're going to call this nav UL. Okay, so in our CSS code we're going to call the class dot nav UL, and let's set the display as flex, list star as none. Okay, now in our browser you see we have some bullet points here, so we want to get rid of it. So once we implement the display flex, then it's going to display then horizontally like this. Then with the list star none, we are going to remove the bullet points. Okay, next let's set some gap, okay, because they are jammed together. So we're going to add a gap space of 10 px. Okay, and set their margin to 0. Okay, now let's see how they look. Okay, now they have some spaces in between here and there's no bullet point. Okay, so the next thing we want to style is the AR tag. Okay, so we're going to say dot nav UL, and then we point to the AR tag. So let's set the padding. Let's add some padding to it. 10 px or 20 px and 10 px. Okay, horizontally and vertically we add some padding. And let's add hover event, so that if we hover on the menu we can have something occurring. Okay, so with that we say dot nav UL UI and then the anchor tag. Okay, so we're gonna implement the hover event, and then on hover what we want to do, we just want to change the color. Okay, so let's check. You see, if we hover on each menu, then we going to have the text color changing. Okay, so we want to implement that. So we're going to set the color to something like deep blue. Okay, so let's refresh. Okay, so if we hover on it, and then we have the color changing. Okay, now let's modify the background. So for that we're just gonna say nav. Okay, so we use the nav, this nav element. Okay, we use the tag name as the selector. So let's set the background to blue. Okay, okay, all right. So now let's work on the links. Okay, so the anchor tag is actually the tag with the link attribute, so we are going to work on that and change the color and remove the line from under each menu. Okay, so we say link to To remove the line from under each menu, we're going to implement a property called text decoration, and we are going to set that to none. Okay, because we do not want any line on our text. And let's change the color of the text to white. Okay, so use the color property and set the value to white. Okay, and next the font size to 18px. Let's increase it a bit. And then next we set the padding 28px 0. Let's save and then refresh. Okay, so we get something like that. Now if we hover on each menu, then we're going to have the color changing with the pop-up message, okay, that we set in our HTML code. Alright, so thanks so much for watching, guys. Kindly like, share and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.